on paper, I threw this by somebody and they looked at me dumbfounded. But I think that they're looking at this next matchup as the current eyes. The next matchup I have is John Morant or Trae Young. Now, ain't no way there's no one that can deny that John Morant's going crazy right now. Had a 52 point game the other day. Bounced out the gym. But Trae Young last year was going crazy too. I do think that there's been I don't know what the hell's going on with Atlanta, but there's just a lot of maybe a lot of cooks in the kitchen, like you said, Mike. But I want to hear from you, Mike, first. Who would you choose over in the next 5 years, of course, over John Morant or Trae Young?
Yeah, this is a tough one. You know what I'm saying? It's like you were saying, I'm pretty sure like you're gonna allude to recency bias. That's pretty much what you said.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do recency bias, but like I looked at the list and a theme that I'm gonna talk about is leadership. I
Mm,
think John Moran is a better leader than Trae Young. I don't think he's necessary. Like, obviously, Trae Young has better intangibles. Like, he's a better shooter, he's a better passer. But when you look at the Grizzlies, you're like, like John Morant's their leader. You know what I'm saying? And I think Trae Young, he's more of like a passive guy. You know what I'm saying? And I know Trae Young was going crazy last year,
It's
but
because he light
remember,
skinned. That's why, man. It's because he light skinned. That's
oh,
what.
okay.
no,
Okay.
it's not that. But remember last year, I know the Hawks, they made the playoffs and they had a good run. But look at last year, before they fired their coach Lloyd Pierce, what were they doing? They were terrible. They were absolutely awful.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? And I look at Memphis and I just look at like when you look at their roster, their roster is not amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like they got some solid players, Steven Adams, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bain's been cool this year. But like I really think a lot is the leadership of John Morant. Now it's tough to say. I'm gonna choose him. I know I didn't say I'm gonna pick him, but I'm gonna choose him. But I'm choosing him because I think he'll develop his shot. I
Mm,
think I think he'll develop a shot. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I know
Mm,
obviously Trae Young's a way better shooter. John Morant probably never get as good as a shooter as Trae Young,
mm,
but um, just based off of leadership, and that's going to be a theme that I'm going to lean on going forward. I
mm.
got to go with John Morant.
I like it. What about you, Mitch?
So first of all, shout out to Ja, man. He from the crib, South Carolina, man. Shout,
Yes.
shout out to Ja, man. So this is the thing. So this is the thing that worries me about Ja, like, cause the way he's playing right now, like he's playing like at an MVP level, right?
Mm-hmm.
He plays so much over the rim. That's the thing that concerns me, like over the next 5 years. Like we seen in our history, like people that, were over the rim. You look at Derrick Rose, you look at Penny Hardaway, Steve Francis, like these are players where it was really good at one point, and then like they had a hard time adjusting like
Yeah.
how they play their game. Now, I do think John Morant has the capability of changing, but that's why I gotta go with Trey. I gotta go with Trey because I know the way he plays below the rim, like that's gonna carry for 10 years. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's I know I got that. Now, John might last longer, but I know consistently I'm gonna have Trey.
Let me let me tell you why I struggled with this more than well, not more than all of them, but why I struggle with this. I agree everything that you said, Mitch, about John Morant. They've been killing Colin Cowherd because he compared John Morant to the Derrick Roses, to the Russell Westbrooks, to the John Walls.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, people are killing them because, of course, recent. But that is a fear of mine. That is a fear of mine because I mean, at this right now, I think he's shooting 34% from the 3 point line. And that's, of course, better than his last 2 years. But what happens when your athleticism goes, or what happens when, which I don't wish that upon anybody, but injuries start piling up? As we saw, hell, John Wall can't get on a team right now. Now, a lot of that is, of course, with Houston, but John Wall can get on a team. Hell, we see what's going on with Russell Westbrook right now because he never developed a shot. Now, if he does develop a shot, then that is John Morant. Then of course it should be a no-brainer. But here's why it was a lot harder for me for Trae Young. And Mike, I think you can agree. If Trae Young's not scoring, he don't do nothing. Trae
Yeah.
Young don't really pass the ball that much, which I think, of course, he's still young, and that's going to come with development. but Trae Young, Trae Young is the ultimate. His offense dictates his entire game. Um, so but I will say this. I'm leaning towards what you said about Mike, that leadership. I look at Memphis kind of like how I looked at or how I was looking at Cincinnati this year, Cincinnati Bengals. They don't know what they don't know. I mean, you have a young team, you have Jaren Jackson Jr., you have Desmond Baines going crazy. Dylan Brooks ain't even playing. And this team is fighting for the second spot in the West. And like you said earlier, Mitch, that the East is a lot better than the West. And Steph is what 33, 34 right now. Bron's 37, 38. It's like things are going to change. And I am leaning more due to the leadership. So I'm kind of with you, Mike. Yes, Trae Young has better offensive intangibles. But when we talk about the totality of the game and of course the leadership and maybe defense, while Ja's not the best defender, he gives you more energy on the defense than Trae does. And they're both, kind of small, but I'm gonna go with Ja. I'm gonna go with Ja just because of leadership. However, I do have the fears that you have mentioned as far as what happens if his shot doesn't develop
I got the same fear too. So
and
we
and
in the
and,
same boat.
and for Trae, it's like, are you Trae Young doesn't seem like, at least right now, it doesn't seem like he has to develop something else. Like, does he have to develop maybe a point, facilitating mindset? Does he have to develop? Well, he ain't gonna be no defender. We just know that that's just the way the league's going. That's not happening. So it's like, I don't know if Trae, especially with the people that he's playing with, I don't know if Trae is going to be able to grow more than Ja could. So I'm going to go with Ja.